Is on digital literacy thank you letters, tips, do's, and don'ts. I'm going to give a presentation of PowerPoint, and I will be giving you do's and don'ts, and also at the end we will be looking at two different kinds of thank you letters. One can be handwritten, and the other one could be a short email version, and we'll go through those. So, jobs are a big investment of your time. You've researched the company and the role. You scoured your resume for perfect talking points to match you to the position, and you're scheduled to meet hiring manager. But viewers made the time investment meeting with you too. And to seal the deal, you better be prepared to formally thank them for it. So after the interview. Thank you letter is your letter to formally thank your interviewers. Now, is this important to do? Well, 25% of interviewers said that receiving a thank you letter from a candidate affects their decision-making process. You may have been qualified for the job. Your failure to follow up could make it seem like you're not interested enough to go the extra mile and reach afterwards. The enthusiasm for the position, as you know, also allows you to reiterate why you were the best person for the job. The letter is best sent via email within 24 hours of the interview, while you're still fresh in the interview's mind. It should be brief, no more 2 or 3 paragraphs. So kind of talk about the difference between handwritten versus email thank you letters. So you're wondering, is it appropriate to send a handwritten note to the email? The answer is that there really is no easy answer for that question. Although a handwritten letter may offer a quaint personal touch, the organization will likely receive it far for it to have an impact. Experts that indicate that a handwritten note is received depends on the culture. For example, if you are applying for a company that has a traditional role or a profit organization, be appreciated a handwritten note. But if you're applying for a fast-paced modern startup, you may be put off by this because they might see it as an outdated method of communication. They would bring an email. So you think, well, to solve this dilemma, I'm going to do both, email and a handwritten letter. But there are experts out there who are saying sending both is overkill. You don't need to do that. Email is probably the better method because of its speed and professionalism. So you don't send both. Most likely would go with the email, depending on the company that you're trying to be part of. So next we'll talk about crafting your letter. The best place to start is to put you in the mindset of your audience, which is the person who interviewed you or the people who interviewed you. You want to ask yourself these questions. Did the interviewers enjoy the conversation? Where connect with them? And what kind of interviewing style did they have? Was it warm and friendly, or was it more strictly business? There are 3 main points that you want to make in your letter. First is you want to thank the person for meeting with you, first and foremost. Second one is something you liked about the interview, whether it was a conversation that you had or skill that you had brought up that they liked. Go ahead and mention that in your thank you letter. And the thing that you should also make sure is in your letter is that you want to repeat your interest in the job. I'll show you what that looks like at the end when we look at our sample letters. So you want to avoid, and it's called text speak. So it's important that you're reminded to not use a casual tone or language when you write your letter. Even though email is purely informal method of communication, you don't want to slip in informalities like icons or text beats like LOL. You don't want to include it doesn't look professional at all. So you want to avoid that kind of mistake. Tips and the what we would customize your thank you letter. Should be just a resume and a cover letter is customized towards your employer. You want to have your thank you note also customized. You want to double and triple check for grammatical and spelling errors. If you have a typo-filled follow-up, this can ruin your impression that you made during your interview. So you want to make sure you avoid any kind of typos and double and triple check that. And the next one is you met with multiple people, had one or two different interviewers, send a note or a letter to each person, and if you have their contact information. And then if you're impatient, if you don't get a response right away. So you don't want to bombard the hiring manager's inbox with emails or letters asking for follow-up. One should suffice. And if you go several days or weeks go by and you haven't heard anything, then I think that would be able to send another follow-up letter. Those are tips. Now I'll show you two sample letters. One is if you were to maybe write a handwritten note, this would be a good sample to look at. So the date's up at the top. You have your information, and then employee information, the person you're writing the thank you letter to. You can see it starts here, Mr. Johnson, the opportunity to interview for the position of program analyst. So what position you applied for, just to remind them, I'm very interested in the position and excited about the prospects of working in the software development division at Johnson & Johnson. Making it personable, this is making it customizable employer. I feel you're a valuable asset to your organization and an excellent candidate to fill this position, showing your interest in the position. This one adds a little bit more towards like why you stand out and why you're the person for the job. As into my programming background and experience, I will bring a very strong work ethic along with great organizational skills to this position. Attention to detail, and I'm dedicated to my work. I have excellent communication skills and can work with many different types of people, personalities, and skill levels. I am motivated, disciplined, and focused, and I'm determined to get my job done well and on time. I have a passion for helping others and making a difference. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and look forward to hearing from you soon. Sincerely, your a sample thank you letter that you can mail in if you're going to handwrite it. You can also use this as an email. It's a little bit long for an email. Your email maybe it's just one paragraph, and I can show you that sample now. So this would be maybe a smaller version of that thank you note. It would be a great email sample. So basic information, the structure is about the same. Your name, your address, your city, all contact information up at the top. Who you're this to, their name and title and organization, their information gets put below that, and start your letter. So this one reads, "Good afternoon, Jeanette. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me yesterday about the staff writer position with Greenwater Works. It was a pleasure meeting with you, and I truly enjoyed learning more about the role and the company. Through our conversation, I'm confident that my skills and experiences are a great match for this opportunity. I'm very enthusiastic about the possibility of joining your team and would greatly appreciate a follow-up as you move forward with the hiring process. If further information, please do not hesitate to contact me by email or phone. Thanks, and I hope to hear from you in the near future. Best regards." Well, that's actually say Jeanette right there, but it would be your name, and then you would end it there. Your information was already at the top, so you don't need to put your information again at the bottom. And this can be done as a Word document like this one. I would send it as an attachment to the person's email. I will send this directly in the email address body because it could get lost and you you know it can get put into a wrong category and someone might not see it. So send it as an attachment. They have it and they can print it and they can look at it and it looks a little bit more professional, just a handwritten letter. So let's go to our notes for our PowerPoint. This is our last tips. Just want to write this again. Customize your thank you letter, double and triple check grammatical and spelling errors. And multiple people send each letter, and then be patient if you don't get a response right away. Again, if you go several days or without hearing anything, it would be okay to send a follow-up letter or email. And that's our presentation.